Welcome back everyone. Now we will study in the second class we are going to study about geotechnical engineering, scope of geotechnical engineering. In previous slides we studied about introduction and soil, and after that what are the names of soils and how the specialists call or define the soil, and how engineers define soil, and soil mechanics, that definitions we studied, soil engineering and geotechnical engineering, that we studied. Now we will study about scope of geotechnical engineering. This scope meaning what? This scope means how broader this concept, this geotechnical engineering is used in civil engineering, or in which places, in what places we are using these all geotechnical engineering concept, that we are going to study in the scope of geotechnical engineering. So this scope of geotechnical engineering, here you can see foundations we will study. We will study retaining structures. I will explain what all this, and stability of slopes, underground structures, pavement design, and earth dams. These are all going to study. Foundation means, this word is known to you, that what is the meaning of foundation, right? That foundation means something below the earth. See, whenever you build a building, you will divide the entire building into two parts. One which you can observe, which you can see, that we will call it as a superstructure. That is called as a superstructure. And one structure which you cannot see, which will be submerged inside the soil, and this is also a structure. This is also made up of concrete and some steels and all. This structure is called as a substructure. This is called as a substructure. The function of substructure is to transfer the load. Okay, this is a building. It will be having some slab or beams and columns will be there, and some live loads will be there, and people going, coming, and if it is a very tall building, then some wind pressure will be there. There will be many forces will be applied to the superstructure, and those forces we need to transfer that forces to the ground. This is a ground. This is a ground, and this foundation acts as a intermediator to transfer the load from superstructure to the ground. Okay, therefore we have a term that is called as a foundations, and this foundation we will study in detail, that is the types of foundation and the suitability of foundation. Okay, that we will study. It will come under geotechnical engineering. Then retaining structures, it is said. Retaining structures means, for example, this is a one hill is there, and some project is proposed that here one road should be there, and you cannot construct a road, inclined road like this. You cannot construct a road passing like this. Therefore what you do, the slope, if you think that this is a slope, then you will cut this earth here, and you will cut earth here, and you will make a road here. This soil you will remove it. Then it will be something like here it will be. Here your vehicles will start moving. Okay, now here this soil there is a tendency that this soil may fall down. Therefore you will construct one wall here. You will construct one wall here. Then when you construct one wall here, this wall is called as a retaining wall. Why it is called as retaining? Because it is retaining the soil. This is controlling the soil falling down from here to here. Therefore it is called as a retaining structures. That also we are going to study, comes under geotechnical engineering. Stability of slopes. See, slopes, so for example, if you are building a dam, then the dam will be built by some soil, and soil you will put a layer by layer, and you will compact it by bulldozer and all. Then you will rollers and all, you will this slope you will get it. But if any wind pressure or earthquake or some water pressure, if it comes, whether this slope retains that it will be stable or not. Otherwise it may collapse. Sometimes some slope may collapse because of some forces. That we need to study the slopes which are made up of soil, whether they are stable or not. For the long duration, whether they are stable or not, that we will study the stability of slopes. Then after that we study underground structures. Underground structures, one thing is a foundation is also underground structures. We called it as a substructure, but underground structures one more. You can say that tunneling and all. See, this is a hill, and you will build one tunneling here, and here the vehicle will move. but this structure is an underground structure. This is, you can call it as a ground and underground. And in some cases what happens, this is the ground level, and below that you will put up pipelines and all, some cables will be very small, but thermal and all, some water projects and all, they will put a huge pipelines and all, and that also comes underground structures. And sometimes what happens, you will make some caves inside, and you will bring some mines and all, gold mines, irons and all, ores, you will bring it from the ground without disturbing the ground levels. Okay, that is also comes under underground constructions and underground maintenance. Okay, that you know. And pavement design also comes under structure, geotechnical engineering. Pavement means what? The road, you know already. Okay, this is a road. This is what your road. Okay, but this road will be resting on the earth. This is the earth, and that pavement, this is called as a pavement. Okay, this is the pavement. But pavement design, to design this one, how much load is coming here, which type of vehicle is coming here and all, for that all these all loads and all will be acting on the soil, whether this soil is able to take that load or not. You will be seeing before that after construction few days, the road will be very flat, and after that you will see many undulations. Okay, it means that at a particular zone, the soil is not ready to take that amount of load. Here in front of the college or otherwise, wherever you go, some streets and village roads, they will be very undulated. Why? Because that particular part of the soil is not ready to take that load. Therefore, we need to strengthen that soil and we put the pavement on that one. Okay. Earthen dams also, some dams here I already explained. This dam is used to retain some water. Okay, and this dam is made up of soil only. Therefore, the study of that particular earthen dam, that also comes under geotechnical engineering. This is all about scope of geotechnical engineering. Now, in the second point, we will study today's second point, that is the origin and soil formation. How this soil, what we are calling till now, the soil and all, this, how this soil is formed. Okay, we have two methods to form that soil. That is, soil formation will takes place only because of weathering of rocks. Okay, this soil will form only because of weathering of rock. It is not soil means on this ground. It's not like alien came and manufactured and went. Not like that. Or otherwise you bring some raw material and manufacture in the factory and produce it on the ground. No, that is also not possible. And it's not like a rain how the clouds will put the rain. Water comes from the top to bottom like that. In ancient days there was a clouds of soils, and those soils came from the different Mars, different planet. It's not like that. It is all that soil formed on this earth, that is because of weathering of rock. Weathering of rock means the rock is there because of some actions. It might be a mechanical actions or it might be a chemical actions. The upper part of the soil it will disintegrate. It will start disintegrate. It will start separate and it will become powder. Then again this part also become powder. This part become powder. Like that, the entire earth, because of some actions, it become disintegrated and sediment material. A small rock it becomes. This part we will call it as a soil. But this is not a overnight process. It takes about millions and trillions and billions of years. Okay, 100, 200, 500, 600 years together it takes to form that rock to the soil. Okay, therefore weathering of rock is the main logic behind the soil formation. And mechanical, we have two types of weathering of rock, that is called as a mechanical weathering, and the second one is a chemical weathering. This mechanical weathering we will call it as a physical weathering also. Mechanical weathering you can call, or you can call it as a physical weathering also. And a chemical weathering you can call it as a chemical decomposition. Composition means integration, that composites, and decomposition means separates. Okay, but this separation happens because of chemical process, therefore it is called as a chemically decomposition also. Okay, now that process can be easily explained like I will take one rock here. this is a rock. Okay, and because of, I will consider the mechanical process first, that here might be a lot of fast that heavy rain may happen continuously, or otherwise some wind may blow continuously, or here the animal actions may be there, here maybe root action may be there, or here maybe temperature variation will takes place. Because of all of them, here the rock, or this part of the rock, will disintegrate in years together. In that much of period, this part will disintegrate and it become a powder. And that powder, because of rain again, because of rain, because of wind, because of man, because of temperature, or because of root actions, these all disintegrated part will start transporting. Okay, some part will retain here only, and some part of the powder will transport. Okay, that transports, and it will deposit again somewhere. Okay, it will deposit somewhere again here, and when it deposits here and here, and again if it takes again billion trillion years, and that became again one rock. That we already know, sedimentary rocks and such rocks, or otherwise it may become a rock again. This is called as upheaval. Therefore, in this entire soil formation, we will see erosion. In the physical weathering, erosion, and after eroding, the powder will transport, and that transported powder will deposit somewhere, and deposited it will form again upheaval. Okay, these are 4 stages of weathering of rock. Now I can say that how exactly the soil is formed on the earth. Okay, now in this process we will classify some of the soil by their action. Okay, if the soil stays at the place of its formation, just above the parent rock, it is known as residual soil. We have one more word that is called as a residual soil. Residual soil means what? This is a rock. This is a rock. The upper part of the rock is disintegrated. This upper part of the rock is disintegrated. But this disintegrated soil will remains there itself. It don't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Means because of the wind, because of man action or water, it is not going somewhere. It is staying there itself. Then this soil we will call it as a residual soil. This soil is called as a residual soil, or it is also called as a sedentary soil. This is also called as sedentary soil. Now the second one is when a soil has been deposited at the place away from the place of its origin, it is called as a transported soil. And this soil may be sometimes here it is generated, and after that because of water action, because of air action, because of man's some transportation action, because of all these some variations, this soil is transported and deposited here. That soil is transported and deposited here, but its parent is somewhere here. Then this soil we will call it as a transported soil. That is called as a transported soil. Understood? The engineering properties of transported soils are entirely different from the properties of rock at the place of deposition. Understood? Its properties, and below that one, some if rock is there, its property and its property will be completely different, because this soil is a son or daughter of this one, a child of this rock. Therefore its property and its property will match, but its property and its property will not match, it is said. Deposits of transported soil are quite thick and usually uniform. Most of the soils deposit with which geotechnical engineer has deal in a transported soil. Most of the times whenever you deal with, you will observe only that transported soil. In due course of time, the soil is transported from somewhere from here, somewhere from there to here, and that only you are going to deal it. Okay, this is what the type of soil, that is a residual soil or sedentary soil, and the second one is a transported soil. In physical weathering, in the process you see here the mechanical weathering is there and chemical weathering is there. Mechanical weathering means here physical weathering is there. What all process will come in the physical weathering is this weathering of rocks occurs due to the following physical properties. What are those? Temperature changes. See, there is a rock here, because of a high temperature it start expanding, but it is a brittle material. this rock will be always a brittle material, therefore when it expands it will break. It will break into a small pieces. Therefore it is said temperature changes may cause rock to swell. Then wedging action of ice. Wedging action of ice. One thing you should always know, that 1 liter of water if you put on the fridge, okay, and when you take it out, when it become ice, and if you measure the volume, it will increase its volume by 10% or 20% based on the purity of the water. 10 to 20% of the volume will increase when it becomes ice. That's why you will be seeing that if in the fridge, if the water, if you are going to keep, you will not fill the that water bottle completely till the top. If you fill it full and put it in the fridge, refrigerator, then its volume expands. Therefore, you will observe some breakage in the bottle. Okay, that much stronger it is, that it increases its percentage of volume. Wedging action means what? See here, there is a rock, and this is my rock. This is my rock, and here, particularly because of a rain, the water may penetrate here, and here some water, everything is there. And after that, because of the winters, in the winter season, this water will become ice. This water become ice, and this will spread. This will expand. When it expands, this rock will collapse into 2 parts. Then again wedging action like that, it will start splitting the rock splits, and it become a soil. Then spreading of roots of plants. This is also very major thing. Roots are very smooth, but still they have a very strong enough to break the rocks also. The same thing I consider here. This is a rock, and some place is there. Here, if I put some root, some plant will grow here, and its root want to expand, but this rock, because of this rock is there, and still that will expand its volume, and it will break the rocks. Okay, but this is all not spontaneous. It's a very time consuming process. You cannot sit and see how the rock breaks when the root increases its this one. You might be observed some compound walls broken because of the root actions and all. Like that only the rock will disintegrate because of root plant. Abrasions means moving here and there. For example, people will move from here and there continuously. Animal will move, and some because of the wind, some particles will come and hit and move. Like that, the upper part will get eroded. Okay, that also you will observe. These are all physical properties of weathering. Now, the second point is a chemical weathering. Chemical weathering means chemical reaction will take place on the rock surface. See, this is a rock surface. It will be having some chemical compounds, chemical property. Through the wind, some chemical elements will come. Through the rains and water, and some chemical elements will come. Then all together they will mix here, and some chemical reaction will take place. Because of the chemical reactions, this rock will disintegrate and come out. Okay, this process may be a hydration, or it might be a carbonation, it might be oxidation, solution, or hydration. Okay, the definitions are there here, right? This is again the chemical weathering. This is a chemical weathering of rock. Now you came to know that how rock originates. In this class we studied briefly about the scope of geotechnical engineering and origin of soil formation. Okay, thank you very much. In the next class we will study 3-phase system in soil engineering. Okay, now thank you very much. Right.